the case against former FBI Director James Comey could be in legal jeopardy. U.S. District Attorney Lindsey Halligan says she never actually presented the Justice Department's final indictment against Comey to the full grand jury. The indictment was only presented to 2 jurors, including the grand jury foreperson. It's a mistake that could end up getting the case thrown out entirely. The Justice Department is defending Halligan in a new filing issued yesterday. The department says she did not mislead the grand jury and that what she did was normal. Joining the group chat, former federal prosecutor Alyse Adamson, because you can tell us if it's normal. And I'm not a lawyer, but kind of a scenario here. So first, help us understand technically what this judge asked. Like, how did this come up?
Right. So they weren't even litigating this issue, Audie. They were actually litigating whether or not this is a selective or vindictive prosecution. But there was always this question about this missing time. The grand jury had voted initially on 3 charges. They rejected 1 charge and they approved 2 others. But the transcripts were odd because there was no indication that Lindsey Halligan ever went back to the grand jury to formalize those 2 approved charges.
To say, hey, this is what you're saying this person did. We want to go forward with this trial. I am coming to you to show you the final charges.
Correct, the final charges. It was basically a revised document. So there was a document with 3 charges, and then what was presented to the judge for the foreperson to sign in court only had 2 charges. So what came out yesterday, Audie, is that Lindsey Halligan went back to her office and actually altered the document. She took out that 3rd charge and then presented a new document to the court. And the question as to whether it's normal, it is not normal. Any experienced prosecutor knows that the document that is prepared and presented to the grand jury needs to be the same document that is then signed and filed. And that didn't happen. Just
to walk people through this scenario, she's handpicked by the White House, essentially. Her resume, as far as we know, is that she was, of course, on Trump's personal legal team, which we're seeing many Trump lawyers throughout the administration. Prior to that, she'd been in a civil litigation law firm. What about this resume to you would raise a question?
I mean, all of it, Audie. I mean, she is an attorney. To be fair, she was a partner in an insurance law firm, but she has no prosecutorial experience. And you need to have that experience, especially when you are presenting in the grand jury. What never happens is on your 4th day of work as a prosecutor, you go in to present a case to the grand jury. Even prosecutors with years of experience are supervised through that process because it is so complicated. It's a secret proceeding that is governed by a lot of process and procedures, and we see what happens. Ms. Halligan made a lot of what we can call rookie mistakes. Some are harmless. Some potentially could be fatally flawed to the case.
Now, the person who's probably happy about this, I'm going to say this in Jim Comey voice, like, oh, Lordy, he's probably very excited because he has been saying the whole time that because the president had this Truth Social post saying, indict this person, indict that person, this has been vindictive from the start. Can you talk about how the legal team could take advantage of this error or what it says about their strength in the case?
Well, let me just describe it like this, Audie. This is like a choose-your-own-adventure of procedural errors in this case. This is one avenue for the defense to potentially get the indictment tossed out. Now, whether what we're talking about here, the changing of the indictment, is a clerical error or a fatal flaw, that's yet to be seen. This is unprecedented. But there's all these other things that happen that could ultimately get the indictment tossed out. There is, of course, like the top thing, which is this vindictive and selective? That's a very high bar to meet. But here we have a Truth Social post from the president essentially directing this prosecution mere days before the statute of limitation runs.
Never mind her getting the job. I feel like that was another thing Comey tried to challenge.
That's correct, and that is still being actively litigated because the interim appointment for the U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia had already run. There's only 120 days that an interim can serve, and Eric Siebert had already served that 120 days. After that time, the procedures state that the courts then put another attorney in until a nominated...
Let me translate. So what you're saying is a White House, Trump appoints his personal attorney. People say, wait a second, can you do that? We're going to the courts. That same attorney goes to the court for the case for the people he wants them to go after, makes a big error. And so it's like legal error on legal error.
It's legal error and legal error. I just want to clarify, though. What happens is when the DOJ, the Attorney General, appoints an interim attorney, they can only serve in that post for 100 120 days.
Got it.
Somebody had already served for 120 days, so it's incumbent upon the courts, the district courts of that jurisdiction, to then install somebody until Congress ultimately approves a replacement. That didn't happen here. Instead, the DOJ put Lindsey Halligan in, Donald Trump's personal attorney. So it's possible that she has been serving illegally this entire time.
I have to add one more voice to this. The former Trump White House lawyer, Ty Cobb, he of the famous mustache, he spoke about these missteps by Halligan, and here's what he had to say to Aaron Burnett.
The multiple constitutional violations that have, came up are clearly intentional and clearly require sanctions of the most severe order. Bondi, of course, affirmed the alleged legitimacy of Halligan's grand jury presentation, not once, but twice in these proceedings. And that, again, could not have been done honestly. So I do believe that each should be disbarred.
He's saying Bondi, he thinks, should be disbarred. Halligan should be disbarred. I also find it weird I can do this entire story with just Trump attorneys, basically Trump personal attorneys. But disbarred, is that language fair?
I think that's very strong language. I think as we said, there's a whole host of issues. Some are more egregious than others. I don't think it would be surprising in the future to see someone like Lindsey Halligan face an ethics inquiry. But I think some of these issues are very new and unprecedented. And so we need to see just how egregious they are. And just another point, some of these things we don't know, especially with respect to the grand jury, because it's a secret proceeding. So it's premature to talk about just how egregious some of this behavior is without all the information.
All right. Well, I know that this is going to drag on for a bit because of all the questions here. Alyse, thank you so much for answering them. I appreciate your time.